My name is Charles Coomber. I teach 8th grade at Otay Ranch Academy for the Arts. I use personalized learning paths, but we call them project trees. In my middle school classroom, I actually use them mostly in history right now. And I kind of built them unit by unit. So I followed all of the state standards and I try to make this menu of choices for students to use to both achieve mastery and then demonstrate mastery of each history standard. I wanted to give students more choices about how they're going to learn the material, and I mean choice in every sense of the word. I wanted them to have choices of their timeline. I wanted them to have choices of how they learn it. I wanted them to have choices of whether to attend a lecture on a day, or read a textbook, or watch a video. I mean, honestly, my big motivation was student engagement. And I really believe that if you give students like succinct goals and you give them the supports they need to reach those goals, that they'll do what you want. That like naturally, that's how you motivate students. Project trees empower all students by providing, I call them mild, medium, and spicy choices. And I use a lot of, diagnostic data to make sure each student's operating at, like the just right level, like just slightly challenging. A big example is a lot of the project trees are built to be 2-week to 3-week units, which I find is ideal. Anything longer than that and students start, putting it off forever. They're like, it's like a month of project, I can just wait. And anything, shorter than that and I have to make either too many or students don't really have a choice in controlling their timeline if I'm like, this is every day, this is due. That said, even with my shorter mastery trees that I've settled on, like 2 to 3 weeks, I still try to provide a weekly option, which has like a day by day, almost like an agenda. Do this today, do this today. If you do these choices, you'll be on track. The reason why I made that, and I still remember this student, it's because this one student just asked me, like, can you just make a list of what should I do day after day? And I thought to myself, why am I fighting? And like every time I'd get kind of frustrated, I'd be like, just do a little bit of it, just work for an hour and then you'll be caught up. And I thought, why am I fighting this? This kid wants to do it. All I have to do is make him an agenda and he'll be successful. So then I started doing it and there was a few kids in every class that wanted that same structure. So just by providing those different layers, and it's not that much work, especially once I set it up, I don't have to change it much between year to year, but also a lot of times it's like very similar choices and it's just about laying it out a different way so that each student can succeed. Really the first step to making project trees is I sit down and I put all of the assignments and activities I can think of from a unit and I lie them all out. I then try to find a true alternative of different either learning styles or difficulties for every assignment that I possibly can. And there are bottlenecks in my mastery years where I'm like, at this level there's only one choice. That's fine, and I'm continuously improving them. But it's important to have all of these choices so that way each student can really work within their zone of proximal development. Each student can be challenged just enough. So that's what you have to do. You need to find a bunch of inputs, you find a bunch of outputs, and you organize them step by step. First you have to do this, then you have to take one of these 3 options, then you have to take one of these 3 options, then here, sorry, there's only one option. And then, how are you gonna show mastery? Take this test and pass this test, or write a song showing that you've mastered it, and write a short story about it. That's what I do. It's a lot of work up front, it is, but it's really worth it because one, engagement has never been higher than since I started doing this. Because in the past it would just be like, well, today's a lecture, I hope everyone's ready to sit there and listen and take notes, which is like 2/3 of you will enjoy this and 1/3 of you will check out. And now I have like 100% engagement. Like you can walk around my classroom at those times and it's so cool. The one encouraging thing I would say is start small and every little bit counts is what I'd say. Like you don't need to make mastery trees for every subject and every unit in the subjects. Start with one subject and one unit. I actually have like a film of this where I walked around my classroom and there was like, we were learning about the Civil War. There's these kids playing a board game on the Civil War and then they're gonna write a report about what they did. There's kids outside with a green screen filming a news report as if they were in the Civil War. There's like a whole pod of students sitting at their computers reading a textbook and taking notes on it. And I just thought, this is really good. This is like exactly what personalization is about.